Have you ever caught your cat staring at something in an empty corner of the room? No sound, no movement, nothing there. But your cat watches it like it's the most important thing in the world. Most people laugh it off. They say cats are weird. They say maybe it's just their imagination. But what if it's not? What if your cat actually is seeing things that you simply cannot see? Because the truth is, your cat experiences the world in a way that is completely different from you. Different senses, different vision, different signals. In fact, there are entire layers of reality inside your own home that your cat can detect, but your brain will never process. Invisible patterns, silent sounds, tiny movements, signals floating through the air around you right now. Once you understand what your cat is reacting to, their strangest behaviors suddenly make perfect sense. And the final one? That one might completely change the way you look at your cat forever. Let's start with something happening in your home right now that your cat can see, but you can't. Number 1. Your cat can see invisible light. Look around the room you're in. The walls, your clothes, the furniture. Everything looks normal, plain, predictable. But to your cat, the room might look completely different. Because cats can see ultraviolet light. Ultraviolet is part of the light spectrum that human eyes simply cannot detect, but your cat's eyes can. That means your cat sees patterns and markings on objects that are completely invisible to you. Your white shirt? It might glow with strange patterns. Flowers on your table? They may have bright ultraviolet guides that look like landing strips. Even surfaces around your house could appear marked with glowing signals. Scientists confirmed this in a 2014 study published in the Proceedings of the Royal Society B. Researchers discovered that the lenses in many animals, including cats, allow ultraviolet light to pass through to the retina. Human eyes block most of it. So when your cat stares at the floor or suddenly fixates on a random object, they might actually be looking at something your brain simply cannot see. But light isn't the only hidden world your cat experiences. There's another layer happening all around you right now, and it's completely silent to you. Number 2, your cat hears sounds that don't exist to you. Have you ever seen your cat suddenly twitch their ears and stare towards something you can't hear? No footsteps, no voices, no noise at all. Yet your cat reacts instantly. That's because cats hear frequencies far beyond human hearing. Humans can hear up to about 20,000 hertz. Cats, up to 64,000 hertz. That means there is an entire soundscape happening in your home that you will never experience. Electronic devices, phone chargers, LED lights, televisions on standby, even some wireless signals. Many of these produce extremely high-pitched frequencies. To you, the house feels silent. To your cat, it might sound like a room filled with faint buzzing and humming. This is one reason cats sometimes react to things before they happen. They hear tiny mechanical sounds long before your ears pick them up. A refrigerator switching on, an appliance activating, even the subtle movement of tiny animals outside. Your cat hears it first. But what your cat sees next is something even stranger, because sometimes they're watching things that are so small your brain ignores them completely. Number 3, your cat sees tiny movements your eyes miss. You've probably seen it before. Your cat suddenly locks onto something in midair. Their eyes follow it slowly across the room. But when you look, there's nothing there. No bug, no dust, no object. Just empty air. Except it's not empty. Cats have an extremely high number of rod cells in their eyes. Rod cells detect motion and movement. That means your cat is incredibly sensitive to the smallest possible movement. Tiny dust particles floating in the sunlight, microscopic insects drifting through the air, threads of fabric falling from furniture, even shifting shadows caused by slight air currents. Your eyes miss these things. Your brain filters them out, but your cat tracks them like moving targets. To them, the room is constantly filled with tiny moving objects, invisible prey, floating particles, subtle movements. Your cat isn't staring at nothing. They're watching a tiny world moving through the air around you. But vision isn't the only reason your cat reacts to things before you do, because sometimes they can actually feel things coming before you even notice. Number 4, your cat can sense changes in the air. Have you ever noticed your cat acting strange right before a storm? Restless behavior, hiding under furniture, suddenly pacing around the house. Then, an hour later, thunder starts rolling in. That's not a coincidence. Cats are incredibly sensitive to changes in atmospheric pressure. Their bodies can detect tiny shifts in the air that happen before storms arrive. These pressure changes are far too subtle for humans to feel, but your cat senses them instantly. Their whiskers and inner ear are extremely sensitive to environmental changes. That means your cat may know a storm is coming long before the first cloud appears. And it's not just weather. Cats may also detect tiny vibrations in the ground. Their paws contain nerve receptors that pick up micro vibrations. These signals help them detect movement through surfaces. In nature, this helps them sense approaching animals or prey underground. Inside your home, it allows them to feel vibrations from things you wouldn't notice. Footsteps, vehicles outside, even distant rumbling. But there's something even stranger your cat can detect, something that comes from inside you. And this one surprises almost everyone. But before we get to that, quick question. Has your cat ever stared at something in your house that you couldn't explain? If so, hit like and subscribe, because the next few things your cat senses might completely change how you see their behavior. Now here's where things get really interesting. Number 5, your cat can detect your emotional state. Cats are incredibly sensitive to human body signals. Not your words, your signals. Changes in breathing, changes in posture, changes in heart rhythm. Your cat can detect many of these subtle shifts. When you're stressed, your breathing becomes slightly faster, your muscles tighten, your movements change. You may not even notice it, but your cat does. Research published in Animal Cognition suggests cats are able to recognize emotional cues from their owners. Some cats respond by becoming more affectionate. Others simply stay nearby and observe. They're reacting to physical changes happening in your body. Your emotional state becomes part of your cat's environment. This is one reason cats often sit beside people who are upset or sick. They're responding to physical changes happening in the body. But there's another hidden ability that explains one of the creepiest things cats sometimes do. And once you know this, those strange staring moments start making a lot more sense. Number 6, your cat is monitoring its territory. Cats are territorial animals. Your home is their environment. Every object, every sound, every movement. And that includes you. When your cat stares at you from across the room, sometimes they're simply monitoring their surroundings. Animals constantly keep track of movement within their territory. It's a survival instinct. And you are the largest moving object inside that territory. So your cat watches, quietly, patiently, not because they're bored, not because they're confused, but because they're maintaining awareness of their environment. You're part of their world,
and their brain automatically keeps track of everything happening in that world. But occasionally, the stare means something much more positive.